Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be reviewing AEW Dynamite, 17th of June 2020. We kick off the show with the AEW World Tag Team Championship match with the defending champions Kenny Omega and Handman Adam Page versus the Natural Nightmares Dustin Rhodes and Hugh T. Marshall, with Brandy Rose at ringside. Ali was at the back. She did show up during the match, but it didn't really lead to anything. But they hit the last call Omega and Page combo on QT Marshall for the victory to retain the championships. Match was pretty good. I mean, you did have a bit of Ali and Brandy Rhodes stuff going on. It was a good match. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Going to wait to see what happens with Ali and QT Marshall and all this kind of situation. We then swiftly move on to a video package for Anna Jay. She's signing with AEW and still figuring out the entertainment side of wrestling. Overall, the video package is worth checking out. I think she's got a lot of potential. Looking forward to seeing what Anna Jay can do. Going to give the video package a 6 out of 10. This led to Anna Jay's first match against Abaddon. A horror movie gimmick. Looked absolutely amazing as a gimmick. Abaddon just squashed the hell out of Anna Jay. Not going to rate the match because it was a squash match, but both of these women have been confirmed to be signed, which is very good, with having Chris Statlander and Britt Baker out on injury. Bringing some more women talent in will be very good. After the match, the Dark Order entered the ring while Anna Jay was still in the middle of the ring. Evil Uno presented Colt Cabana with an envelope. Broden Lee nodded to Colt Cabana. 5 and 10 helped Jay out the ring and to the back. I'm really intrigued to see where the story with Dark Order goes. She definitely has a lot of potential. I mean, being startled with bigger stars will probably help her promo-wise and try and get her stock raised a bit. She just hopefully can have some good, consistent in-ring time. We then moved to the match between MJF and Billy Gunn. This got set up last week. Wardlow went after Austin and Colton Gunn on the floor. Gunn went after Wardlow, sent him into the barricade. Gunn climbed back into the ring. MJF nailed him with the $100,000 ring pin. After the match, Wardlow, MJF, and Jurassic Express all had like a big pull apart brawl thing at ringside. That's pretty nice. Overall, match just going to give it a 2.75 out of 5, slightly above average. It was more just to try and make MJF look strong, I think. Clearly there's problems going on with Jurassic Express, Wardlow and MJF, which I like. We then go to Alex Marvez interviewing Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Jericho said Marvez has a fat head, because of course he does, it's Jericho. Jericho and Guevara promised to be best friends to a pulp tonight. Jericho said he and Guevara are more than friends, they're blood brothers, and blood is thicker than orange juice. 6.5 out of 10, entertaining enough. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker. He started the interview by announcing Penelope Ford versus Hikaru Shida for the women's title at Fyter Fest. Baker said Ford is only getting the shot because she's hurt. Baker then got pissed at Tony and said they're on a friendship timeout, and TNT will be pissed at Tony for losing an interview with her. Baker called Reba to roll her away, but Big Swole revealed to be the drivers of Baker's car, and Swole drove off with Britt Baker at the back. Gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Very funny. Very, very, very good. Then we go straight to Cody Rhodes for the Open Challenge, weekly Open Challenge for the TNT Championship. He said the air is thin and lonely at the top. He said when Jake Hager beat him down last week, he noticed there's no members of the Elite or Nightmare family came to his aid. Am I in the Elite or Nightmare family? Are we still a thing? I guess this is a tease for a heel turn, I guess. Arn Anderson then said timing is everything and timing for this match with Hager at Fight Fest just isn't right. Nonetheless, Arn Anderson had an opponent for Cody tonight. It will be a good test. It is a non-AEW wrestler, Ricky Starks. He put himself over as the hottest free agent in wrestling. Apparently, he's on NWA. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know who this guy was. He was alright in the ring. Cody hit the crossroads for the pin. Going to give the match a 2.75 out of 5, just above average. Cody and Starks shook hands after the match. We then go to the Young Bucks versus Superbad Squad, which is Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. FTR came to the ring to watch the match, and of course that meant Butcher and Blade were kind of knocking around. Matt and Nick hit stereo knee strikes on Sabian for the 3 count. Going to give the match a 3.25 out of 5. Overall, it was pretty good. Butcher and Blade jumped the Bucks immediately after the bell. FTR jumped in and hit Butcher and Blade with Goodnight Express. The Bucks hit Blade with an Indie Taker. FTR hit Havoc with a Spike Pile Driver. When the Bucks hit Blade with the Indie Taker. And you just had kind of FTR and Bucks looking at each other in the ring. Going to give the ending segment a 7 out of 10. I really, really cannot wait till FTR faces the Young Bucks. It's going to be incredible. Cannot wait. Then we have a Taz and Brian Cage promo backstage video thing. Taz explains the scene last week where Moxley and Cage went at it. He said Moxley is stealing his gimmick and he came up with decades ago. Cage interrupted Taz and said he can't wait for Fight Fest to rip Moxley's head off and take his title. Cage said nobody's better than him. Moxley then cut a promo pre-taped, of course. Said that he has bad demons and that only beating people up in the ring can keep him at bay. Going to give them all a 7 out of 10. I'm hyped for their World Championship match. It's working very, very good. Oh, we have announced matches for next week. We have Sammy Guevara versus Matt Hardy, Mr. Brody Lee and Colt Cabana versus Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, Wardlow versus Luchasaurus in a Lumberjack match, FTR versus the Natural Nightmares, and John Moxley will be in action with Kaz on commentary during Moxley's match. Overall, that looks like a stacked week next week for AEW Dynamite. I cannot wait. If I'm correct, yeah, that's the last Dynamite before Fyter Fest. So it's the go-home show before Fyter Fest. So that looks like it's going to be stacked. We then have JR asked Tony for an update on Big Swole being adopted by Britt Baker. I can't even say that with a straight face. Reba used the phone act to track Britt Baker's phone. She found her in a dumpster. Britt Baker just saw a massive paddy and shouted at her. Baker promised to sue Big Swole and beat her if it's the last thing she does. 6 out of 10 is keeping Britt Baker relevant, which is pretty nice. And it was quite funny. We then have Matt Hardy on commentary for the main event of the evening. He didn't really say much on commentary. He didn't really add much to the commentary for the match. He was there and it was nice. Of course, Sammy Guevara Oh yeah, main event is Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Best Friends. The winner will go on to face the tag champions at Fight to Fest. Basically, Best Friends are number one contenders. If Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho win, they get that title shot. Guevara sings Jericho's entrance song. The finish of the match happened when a camera operator tripped Guevara. Trent then hit his version of Strong Zero for the pin. I'm going to give the match a 3 out of 5. It was overall pretty good. Then the cameraman revealed himself to be Orange Cassidy. Cassidy took down Jericho with a series of punches. And then Jericho rolled out the ring after a Superman punch. It was then announced official for Fight to Fest, Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy. And then the Best Friends and Orange Cassidy do their giant hug thing to win the show. Overall, yeah, I liked the bit at the end. I'm going to give the end segment 8 out of 10. They're building the Jericho-Cassidy feud very, very nicely right now. Cannot wait for them to square off against each other. But overall, that was a pretty damn good night of AEW. I'm going to give the show a 7 out of 10. Overall, yeah, pretty nice. I do really hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please smash that like button, share and subscribe, and I shall catch you all later. Bye.